Hey, what's up guys? Today's video we will rank all 18 legendary cards. I did some rankings a time ago, but today we will find out which is the best legendary card in my opinion. For sure, you guys not gonna agree with me. I think it's a really interesting ranking because I feel like I'm gonna have a really different point than you guys have, so it will be interesting. So for sure, let me know in the comment section what you guys think and why I'm so bad at ranking cards. If you guys don't want to miss any rankings on the channel, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to use creator code Morten in the shop. Really helps me out, and I would say let's get to number 18 on the list. Let's go. So number 18 is the good old Ram Rider. Why do I think Ram Rider is number 18? First of all, I need to say before going over the list, all legendary cards are viable. I think it's one of the only time right now in the meta you can play every legendary card. So even if I say Ram Rider is number 18, it's not a bad card at all. You can play it, but I think compared to the other legendary cards, the Ram Rider right now is not so good in the current meta. It's overall a really good card, but it sucks against E-buffs. E-buffs are able to completely counter a Ram Rider, and still they're full HP and counter push, and they just cost 1 elixir more. So you play Ram Rider, opponent plays E-buffs, and you have a full E-buffs counter push, and you spend 5 elixirs. Sounds a bit broken. And on top later currently, not a ton of players are playing the Ram Rider currently because there's so many E-buffs, so much Mega Knight, and if you play like kind of fireable bait decks because of the Mother, which we will see later on the list, so many people prefer the Hoggies right now. So let me for sure know in the comment section what do you guys think about the Ram Rider. Is it so bad? For sure, still has a ton of defensive value, but I feel like currently in the meta it's not a really solid card. So Ram Rider is number 18 on my list. So now we're coming to number 17. Number 17 on the list is the Princess. Princess is a card which you just play in Lock Bait. She's doing really well in Lock Bait, but we even can put her out of the deck. So there's some Lock Bait decks which you don't even need the Princess. You put the Delivery in. You just have the Dart Goblin. The Skull is for a cheap cycle, and this is my main problem. For sure, there's also Hawk Princess, but you're not even putting the Prince in ton of decks. If you compare it especially to the Dart Goblin, you see sometimes the Dart Goblin in like some different variations of Mortar Bait or like even minor cycle decks. The Prince you don't really see in anything else besides Lock Bait, and Lock Bait is currently not one of the best decks in the meta. So I would like to see a Princess buff. I'm a huge fan of her. I still agree she can get a ton of value, but right now in the meta, I don't really think she's really good. And if you have like the decision between Dart Goblin and Princess, I would always choose the Dart Goblin. So guys, number 16 on the list is the good old Royal Ghost. Royal Ghost was at one point the best legendary card in Clash Royale after the release. Then it got nerfed, again, and right now it's not really good. As I said earlier, because like the kind of problem is so many E-buffs. E-buffs are so good against Ghosts. They're like some distraction troops, and you don't really feel like it fits in some decks. Like you play the Royal Giant without it back, then you play like some Royal Giant deck with the Ghost, and Pack Up Bridge Spam, that's like the main deck where the Ghost is in, and Pack Up Bridge Spam currently is not one of the best decks in the meta. So that's like my main reason I love the Ghost. I think it's one of the funniest cards in Clash Royale, but it's not really good right now, so this is why Royal Ghost is number 16 on the list. Number 15 on the list is the good old Inferno Dragon. Inferno Dragon, a really interesting concept. At like some points, like every legendary card I will name right now, or like in the even the future rankings, every legendary card was at one point one of the best cards in Clash Royale. Also Inferno Dragon in the Bridge Spam deck, but I think currently with the Zappies being meta and overall not like for sure beatdown is meta, but Inferno Dragon is not doing so well against the beatdown decks. There's some Inferno Dragon decks, and sometimes you see it in a Bridge Spam combination with the Mega Knight, but as I said with the Ram Rider earlier, typical Bridge Spam with the Ram Rider is not really in meta right now, so people aren't really playing the Inferno Dragon currently. You can counter it in a really easy way. There are like so many resets in Clash Royale, so I think Inferno Dragon is not basically a bad card, but currently it doesn't really fit into the meta. So number 14 on this is a card which I hate, but I need to agree it's not one of the best legendary cards in the game. Number 14 on the list is Sparky. Why do I think Sparky is so annoying? Because I feel like if you don't have a reset, you don't really have a rocket in your deck, it gives you like a really huge matchup disadvantage, and this is what I hate about Clash Royale. This is what I hate about Sparky, because I think it's so dang easy to play, and if you don't have the right cards in your deck, it's so hard to counter, and I just hate to play against Sparky. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. I don't really think Sparky is that good overall in the game, overall compared to the other legendary cards. At one point, yes, it was completely broken, I remember, but then Sparky got his nerfs. Since then it's fine, but it's just really annoying to play against. So Sparky with this position I'm really fine, so let's jump onto the next one. Number 30 on the list is the Lumberjack. What do you guys think about the Lumberjack currently? I think it gets kinda like, you back then you played it in Royal Giant decks, you played in Gold decks, but right now you just goodbye Lumberjack, E-buffs, what's up, put in my deck. So it's kinda it's a really solid card. I really like the rage effect. I just think it's a really great concept in Clash Royale. Yes, I remember like in 2017 it was so good when the card first came out. But yeah, as I said, the problem right now is kinda get us classed by different cards, so not a big deal. Lumberjack will come back when E-buffs get a nerf, but currently not one of the best cards in Clash Royale. Number 12 on the list is a card which already was considered one of the best or solid cards in Clash Royale of all time, the Graveyard. But right now the problem is Graveyard's still a really solid card, but there are like some problems. In the last meta, Graveyard was one of the top 3 legendary cards, 100%. But Supercell decided to nerf the Cannon card, the Knight, the Bomb Tower, 3 really insane Graveyard supportive cards. At the same time, buff Mother Witch, and Mother Witch being one of the best cards in Clash Royale, arguably top 3 cards in Clash Royale without a doubt right now. It makes it so hard to play it, because if you face Mother Witch and you just have the poison, especially if the opponent is Mother Witch Heal Spirit, it's like kinda impossible to win. Right now, like most of the Graveyard decks even play the Fireball in to counter the Mother Witch, because Graveyard itself, it's a really solid card. So I would love to see a Mother Witch nerf. We will go later to her. But right now, with being Mother Witch so strong, Graveyard is still a card you can play. Yes, you can still win against Mother Witch decks, but with Mother Witch being in like almost every deck, it makes it so tough, because if you once overcommit, opponent plays a Mother Witch, and especially in the annoying Fireball bait decks, it makes it so hard to win against. So number 11 on the list is a really solid card. I don't really want to talk too much about her, the Bandit. Played in Bridge Spam, played on Mega Knight, played like in different minor control decks and some Bridge Spam decks. You can play her on every deck, and she's doing what she needs to do. Not a really OP card, not one of the best cards in Clash Royale of all time, but overall a good card. I would say a good card. You can play in a ton of decks. She's not broke, she's not bad, she's just a really balanced card, so that's why I put her in this position. Let's keep on. Now we're going to the top 10, and number 10 on the list is going to be the Night Witch. Honestly, Night Witch you just play on Golem, but as I said earlier, with the change in the meta of people putting Fireball in the deck because of the Mother Witch, Night Witch is so much better, because even if you Fireball lock her, still the bats are chipping away, and you're making a -2 elixir trade, and you still didn't defend the Night Witch completely. So with being Fireball in the meta, Golden Night Witch is so strong, or especially Night Witch is so strong, even if you just play her and maybe a Lava Hound, but most of the time in Golden, maybe some Giant decks, the card itself is really strong because of the meta. I don't think it needs a nerf. It feels like really matchup dependent, because if you have a poison against her, you're fine, but with Fireball, it's really hard to defend her. So this is why I put Night Witch in the top 10 on number 10 on my list. So number 9 on my list is the Magic Archer. Yes, this is the first thing where people will say, Morten, why? Magic Archer is so broken. Yes, Magic Archer is a card. Yes, it can be so broken, but as I said earlier, with the current meta, everybody is playing the Fireball, and the Magic Archer is not really doing well against the Fireball. You're not playing a ton of decks, and the best cards, or like the best decks with the Magic Archer in it, is Bridge Spam. And I went, like, that's the thing, like, some cards are good because of the meta, some are bad, so they're like always combinating, as I said earlier. Because Fireball's in the meta, Magic Archer is not that good. Because of E-buffs are in the meta, Bridge Spam is not good, and that means basically Magic Archer is not in the meta. So it's like already like combined, if you guys understand that. That's the thing with the Magic Archer right now. I don't really think the card is bad itself, I just think it's not the best. Like, he's still a good card in the meta, you can play it. So if you're playing Magic Archer, I'm not just telling you, man, put out of your deck, it's horrible. I still think Magic Archer is one of the best cards in Clash Royale, but I think it was already in a better spot. It's still a really solid card you can play in a deck currently. But as I said, with the bridge spam thing not being really meta, even if it's P.E.K.K.A bridge spam or normal bridge spam, I will rank Magic Archer at number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list is going to be the Mega Knight. And a lot of people will say, man, everybody's playing Mega Knight. Yes, but Mega Knight is a good card in the meta right now. I wouldn't put it higher because like my another choice or like my different choices, I made like some different choices. You guys will see it like soon, which are my other cards, which are on top of the ranking. But I think it's overall a really solid card. Mega Knight with P.E.K.K.A not being meta. It's like the only really big tank where you feel like it's doing something against E-Buffs. Even if you play E-Buffs or like an MK against E-Buffs, the MK is almost dead as well. But it's still you can defend them somehow. And you still have a small counter push at least. So if you want to defend E-Buffs. And the nice thing with Mega Knight is also the Mega Knight really fits in E-Buffs deck. So it's all about E-Buffs, how to counter E-Buffs on the list, and which cards fit into a E-Buffs deck. And if you guys don't know, there's like one, I think I showed already on the channel, one MK Warriorhawk's Fireball bait deck with the E-Buffs. This deck is so strong in the meta, and I just think Mega Knight is overall a really solid card. I don't think it needs a nerf, but it's a really nice card to have. And I know some of you guys would say, I hate Mega Knight, it's so broken, nerf this card, it's so no skill. I mean, I have a different perspective. I hope you still are watching my videos in the future still. So number 7 on my list is the Lavon. I'm always telling, every time I do a list, every time I show Lavon deck, I'm always saying, guys, nobody's realizing how good the Lavon is in the meta. And the same again, Lavon E-Buffs. So good. I showed yesterday a Lavon deck with the Bomber in it. Lavon is just one of the most, I feel like people know how good it is, but people are really overlooking, like overshadowed card, because I think if you talk about the best cards in Clash Royale, you need to talk about the Lavon. It's so good. It's matchup dependent for sure as well. But a ton of decks, they just have like one air defense. They have the Musketeer in your deck. They just have like, people are not really playing the Ramrider anymore against Lavaloon, as I said earlier. There are like so many combinations, which makes Lavon so good, and especially with the buffed E-Buffs in it, it makes the deck even better. So my choice, going with Lavon here, it's a really good card, and let's continue, guys. Number 6 on the list is a really solid card. You can play it in any deck. It's not broken, it's solid, because it's so versatile. Yes, the Electro Wizard. Electro Wizard coming on number 6. Got some nerfs still. Man, like if you talk about Electro, it's a solid friend, right? He's always doing what you expect from him. You can play it in almost any deck. It's so solid. Good reset ability against Spark. He's doing air damage, he's doing ground damage. Just a really solid guy, and that's why I put him here. And was bad at one point. I just think it's like really solid. I could rank it higher also, but I just feel like the cards which are coming now are just better or like more broken in the meta, or like more broken in general in Clash Royale. But Ewis, even if it's so high, I don't think it needs a nerf at all. I'm so happy about the card currently. Let me know what you guys think. Ewis is just so solid for such a long time. I don't really think Ewis was bad at one point. So let's go with Ewis here, and let's continue on the list. So coming to number 5 on the list is gonna be the Ice Wizard, putting in front of his good old buddy, good old brother, the Electro Wizard, because I just think the defensive value you get, especially in the current meta, is so good. If it's about Graveyard or the good old, I'm saying a ton of good old today. I apologize, guys, like I'm still trying to find different words for that. But in the current meta against all the E-Buff spamming, I really like to have the defensive control with the Ice Wizard. Even it's an Ice Boy Graveyard, so strong, and I just feel like the card itself is so good in the meta. It doesn't die from Fireball, it's like 3 elixir. It's like 1 elixir less from the 1 elixir less than Electro. So if you play Fireball Log to kill the Ice Wizard, it's gonna be 6 for free trades. So it's just a really strong card, a really solid card, and that's why it's number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list is gonna be the Fisherman. Yes, it got a nerf, but still so versatile. You can activate King Turk against Golem, Giant, Electro Giant, Hawk, and you can pull up troops like a P.E.K.K.A from your Royal Giant. Especially Royal Giant, it's so strong. You can like play it on a cage. It's like so much value you can get. You play it in the bridge to pressure opponents. You can play it as a tank. There's a ton of HP. It's like a knight. It feels like a knight currently, with the ability to kinda pull up troops to the king tower. It's like a building knight combination, so really strong. It got a nerf. It's not as good as it used to be, but I still think if you talk about fisherman, you need to include it, one of the best cards in Clash Royale. So guys, coming here to number 3, and that was a tough decision. So I can get everyone who's saying I would put this one on number 3 and would put this number 1 or 2 and this on number 1. But this is like my top 3. Going in with number 3 is gonna be the log. If you talk about log, we guys know log is so solid. You know, you can even see that here. Log. You actually see the ton on top layer. It's so good. It survives so many nerfs. Because it just like as a knockback against lockbait, you have a +1 elixir trade against a goblin barrel, you can kill princesses, and it has a really long range, and it is still chipping at a tower, you can knockback troops. It's such a good card. So log is the most solid spell in Clash Royale, going in on number 3 on the list. So guys, now we're going to come to number 2 on the list, and this is gonna be my miner. I just love miner. Yes, miner itself isn't as strong as it used to be, but I showed you guys that miner control is still viable. I made number 1 in the world like in twice a row, 2 days in a row, and 2 number 1 in the world with it, with this miner control like you see here, with the Tesla, the Spear Goblins, the Bats. So this deck is viable. Miner control itself is viable without wall breakers even, and you can play it on lava, and you can play it in so many decks. It's so versatile. It feels like an Ewis, but just as a win condition. You can also, as I said here, play it as a win condition. You can play it with Wall Breaker, Supportive Troop. It has so much HP, it's chipping away your opponent. Always needs to defend it. That's why I think Miner deserves to be number 2 on the list. So guys, and now we're going to come to the champion of today's list. Number 1 is going to be the card, which for sure was top 3 worst cards in Clash Royale in the last month, and arguably the worst legendary card in the March. It's gonna be the Mother Witch. I don't really need to talk about the Mother Witch, right? I just think it's so strong. Yes, Fireball's in the meta, but even with Fireball being in the meta, she's so strong. And why is Fireball in the meta? Because of her. She's so good. And if you don't have Fireball, it feels like you already lost the game. There's so many Mother Witch decks. Fireball Bait, Royal Giant, even some minor decks. You play it in Graveyard, you play it in double Witch decks. In Giant, she is so good. Even like a Giant, I saw her sometimes, and like in Wicked spam decks. Mother Witch is so good. She is so annoying, and that's the thing. If you do one mistake, you play bats, you play a spam deck in general, you feel like I can't do anything against her. She's so good. So what do you guys think about my list? Where do you agree with me? Where you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section. I would say I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Thanks for watching, and goodbye guys. Use create a good mode in the shop.